AI image generating has been just blown away, like month over month. It just gets better and better, and I have been loving using, especially Midjourney, still using some Stable Diffusion, but version 6 of Midjourney has been out for a little while. It's pretty stable, and I thought, let's take some of these mood boards and see how we can use AI to just make them next level. And that's what we're going to be doing here today. A while ago, I whipped up this Hufflepuff-inspired mood board. At the time, I was creating a mood board, one for each of the Hogwarts houses, and Hufflepuff, I mean, it just had to be the dining room. There was no way around it. And I made this mood board that you see here. It is by far my favorite of the rooms that I made. There was a Gryffindor living room, a Ravenclaw bedroom, and a Slytherin bathroom. So you need to have a Midjourney subscription to use this. It's not like Stable Diffusion that's free to use. You just have to run on your own computer. But the plans are very affordable depending on what your needs are. So we might start off with something simple today just so we get an understanding of what we're working with. And we'll just say a cinematic, or you know what, let's just start even more basic. Hufflepuff in common room. Let's start there. Common room. And then we put in something like aspect ratio of 3:2. And that's going to help us get the aspect ratio, the visuals we want to see turned on. I'm also going to turn on my fast hour, so this will go a lot quicker. Depending on what plan you have, that's going to determine how many fast hours you get. So it could be something as simple as the Hufflepuff common room, and that was our ultimate inspiration. Now that's on our relaxed mode, so this is real time. Probably going to take about a minute or two to load. Let's see what we can come back with, just so we can get a sense of what Midjourney thinks the common room looks like. It really isn't isn't that far off. When I did my original research, some of the tidbits we found were it was near the Hogwarts kitchens. It was cozy with bee-like colors of black and yellow, high polished honey colored wood, and there was lots of plants, coppers, things like that. And I found online at the time, let's see, this image, which was from one of the Harry Potter video games, and obviously this is a very simple rendition. With Hogwarts Legacy, the detail has gone up exponentially, but there is also plenty of content online that's like, from the official wizardingworld.com. So I took that snippet of information and I put it in ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT, give me the summary version. And the summary version was, so this was the abridged version that ChatGPT gave us. Pretty similar overlap of, the warm, soothing colors. It's cozy, it's cheerful, there's plants, there's lots of sunlight. So I'm going to take this same information and we're going to kind of reiterate on our prompt a little bit that we had earlier, because before we can even get to a Hufflepuff-inspired dining room, we need to get our Hufflepuff common room going. So we're going to keep this in mind. We're going to move this off to this side. And so we're going to take our original prompt that we had here, and we're going to go at it again, and we're going to add some more things. So Hufflepuff common room. So let's just start with some things that we started with as our inspiration originally. Cozy, we'll say let's just say yellow and black, honey colored wood, we'll just say polished wood. How about that? And then we said cozy, so we'll just say potted plants, copper plant. What are those? Copper accents. Let's just say copper accents and see what happens. So this is all text. We're still telling it our aspect ratio is 3:2, which means 3:2. Our style, I have mine set to high, or I think this is considered high at 250, and we're running version 6 of Midjourney. We're going to let that run again really quick. And while that's running, I want to go back to our description over here. So this is essentially what we put in here. And let's see if there's anything else that I can put in that we can extrapolate out of here that will make sense when we're telling AI what we want. So I think something else we can mention is like circular shelves, maybe hanging plants, small round windows. So I think we can work on this section next just to see what we can come up with. Something that I have learned with AI over the time I've been using it is you don't want to make too many changes at once, because then you don't understand why those changes or what change made the difference. Now already this is leaps and bounds better, so much more cozy. I love the plants. I don't see a ton of copper. I'd love to see a little bit more of that. I definitely want to see some more sunshine in here. So let's start working this in. So copper accents, maybe we'll just say copper planters, hanging house plants, and let's just try that, because then we're focusing on like a little bit, we're nitpicking a little bit more, but we don't want to add too many things at once. All right, so it's almost done rendering it, and these I might be clipping a little bit here and there. When you have fast mode on and everything's up and running as it's supposed to, it can only, it might take a minute or two to load, sometimes quicker. It really just depends on a lot of different things. Now here we are, we're seeing a lot. I've seen the hanging plants that came through for sure. I'm not sure I'm seeing as much copper, and I'm wondering if that's because we put yellow and black in the prompt, so I wonder if the prompt is reading that more. And so something we can keep in mind is the order that you put things in definitely has more significance, so that we could take that same prompt, and by the way, just hitting this button on here just means we're re-rolling it. But so we have yellow and black and then honey colored polished wood. So let's just take this part here. We're going to cut that. We're going to control V it up here, put an extra comment in here. Let's see what happens when we rearrange the priorities, because technically it does take everything in your prompt into account, but the earlier it is in the prompt, so the closer to the beginning you can get it, the more it seems to prioritize that. And that seems to be true really whatever AI image generator you use, and that makes sense, right? Like that's the most important thing. So while that's loading, I think next on our list is going to be the windows with the sunny and welcoming feeling, and I have an idea how we can do that, but let's see if this got changed. You can change your settings when you're here in Midjourney to tell you, like, to show progress and stuff like that. That's totally optional. Okay, I definitely see more wood, especially in number 4. That really, I see way more wood here. Definitely a darker wood here. There is obviously still black, because we said yellow and black. That's very interesting. Okay, very, very good. Okay, so let's add in, I like this a little bit more. It has a little bit more of the cozy vibe. So let's just say yellow and black is still important, but it doesn't necessarily mean the whole room has to be yellow and black. Going back to our little ChatGPT summary for us. So we have round door leading into the dormitory. We forgot there is a fireplace. Oh shoot, we need to add a fireplace. Okay, cozy. We'll just put cozy fireplace. Let's make sure we get that in there. Whoopsie doopsie. Okay. Let's see what else we need. Okay. I don't know exactly. We probably won't put Helga Hufflepuff herself over the fireplace, but we did get the plants and flowers. We'll come back to circular shelves because I'm not really sure if that's critical for this part. But the round windows at ground level, that's because the Hufflepuff dining room, or the Hufflepuff common room at Hogwarts, is semi below ground, so that's why they're right at ground level. But it's still sunny and welcoming. Oh, did that? Nope. Okay, there you go. Ooh, I like this already. Look at these. Wow, I really like. Honestly, number 2, which is this one. If you're not familiar with what we're seeing here, this is a grid that pops up. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And so if I liked any of these, I would click, for example, number 2, and it would make a upscaled version, a larger version. But let's say I like the direction of number 1, but I wasn't crazy about that particular one. You could hit V1 and it'll make more versions of that one down below. So let's say this is the one we upscaled because we liked it. It is quite lovely. Like, this would be a super cute, like it kind of has that hobbity vibe to it, which is perfect for the setting of Hufflepuff. But anyways, while that's loading, let's go back here because I want to make sure we get the extra sunny and welcoming noted in here, because that's really going to be important to coming up with the common room, right? We want it to be as authentic as much as it could be. So let's just, I think before the yellow and black, because that's still pretty dominant because we don't have a lot of other colors mentioned. We'll say it's sunny and welcoming. I don't know if that means anything, but I'm going to put golden hour lighting, because golden hour is usually when we have that extra warm lighting that's always beautiful. And let's start with that and see how that changes the vision of the images here. And while that's loading, I love being able to go back and look at this. So this is when we ran variations of that one image. And you can tell they're all very similar, but very different. You can play with the variability. That's a setting in Midjourney. I think they all have their moments. I need the copper to come through. I'm seeing terracotta. You know, we're seeing a lot of terracotta, which is totally fine. That totally makes sense. But I'd love to see a little bit of that kind of hammered copper. Maybe we should put that in as a more distinct element we want to see. Ooh, okay. Now here it is with the lighting updates. Isn't that something? So we definitely have beautiful warm sunlight coming in. We've got beautiful shadows cascading down. So you can tell that really made an impact on our design for sure. Now, obviously, we're still starting off kind of in a debatably confusing element for this, because the AI, the first things it's getting from us is Hufflepuff Common Room. Well, it probably understands the concept of Hufflepuff Common Room. I think we're probably, that's not technically, I mean, I'm sure it's used somewhere, but it's not like a regular phrase. So what if we just pivot just a smidge and put in living room? We're not even going to mess with the copper. Let's just see what the living room comes up with. And while that is loading, I'm just going to throw this picture in here. This is the final version minus some of the extras that I had put in originally. You guys probably remember, well, maybe I put in things off to the side, like, you know, the plates and napkins I would love to see in this dining room. I took those out so it was a little bit cleaner of a read. And this is my mood board that I made previously of what the dining room inspired by Hufflepuff would look like. So we're going to put this in here for future reference. Oh, now this is interesting. A Hufflepuff, so the living room really changed the look of, like, this was just kind of what we said was common room. And it is very beautiful and whatnot. But this is, we said living room, and I think that kind of toned it down into more residential, more kind of general, cozy, like the typical home. So that's an interesting pivot there. Very interesting. Okay, so we kind of have the gist of where we're going. We just need to tweak the copper elements. Let's just say hammered coppered accents, and then hammered. Yeah, let's just see what happens. I just want to pivot one more time, and then I'm going to do the same thing up here for this one, just to see if it makes a difference. Hammered coppered planters, because I'm thinking that it would put some texture with the copper, so it might have to process that a little bit more. I'm not sure. So here is our living room reworked. I truthfully don't see a ton with the copper in this particular one, the hammered coppered accents. I'm not really seeing it. You know, I'm sure they're there to some extent, but it's clearly not the focus, and that's partially because, you know, it's kind of buried deeper into our prompt, so not shocking. Let's see, in our common room version, maybe there's some in here. Hard to say. Okay, well, that's perfectly fine. Let's just try putting dining room in. Like, we're going to leave everything the same and just put dining room. I probably should have taken out some things, but that's okay. So we'll put dining room in this one. And then I'm going to take out the fireplace. I don't think it needs to be in there at the moment. And let's just see how it can render, because putting the dining room and a fireplace in there, I don't know, I'm sure it can do it, but that just seems like it would be a lot. But you never know. I've been surprised before, and honestly, AI is capable of doing some incredible things. Honestly, this seems like a very, like I can totally see the Hufflepuff undertones in this. There's the woods, there's the plants, plenty of yellow, natural sunlight. I mean, technically, this absolutely hits the bill. Yeah, I 100% see. This is the one without the fireplace. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. We have the ability in Midjourney where we can upload an image to Discord, which we did it here. We dragged and dropped it in. And then we could put it in as an image reference. So I might just throw this in at the end of the one that does not have the fireplace and see how it goes. That's rendering. We're going to take the original mood board inspiration that I did and try to describe it to the AI and then have it render. I have a plan. Let's do this. Okay. So we'll start with a cozy dining room with a faux greenery wall, honeycomb wall accent. I don't know. Copper chandelier over the table. Dark. Well, let's just say black wood stained dining room table with tufted yellow dining chairs. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a bench in, but let's try it. White and yellow floral bench seat. I don't know, maybe it'll figure it out. And then we'll just say dark wood buffet, and then we'll say copper accent lighting. Probably help if I spell it correctly. Let's just say cozy, or no, we honey colored wood, polished floors, white rug. I don't know if the white rug is necessary, but let's try it. Let's just say, normally I would want like some sort of like a vibe or aesthetic, but we're kind of going off of this mood board here. So let's just start with aspect ratio 3:2 and see what we come up with. Not linked, and this one did not have it linked, but this one did. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this one was rendering while we were doing that. So it was the same original common room description, but then I just added our dining room at the beginning like we saw, and then the link to my mood board. So I love that it has the tufted chairs just like mine. It has, you know, there's some greenery wall in here, which is like a really specific thing, and it wasn't identified specifically in our common room element, so I'm glad that it picked that up. I love that there's definitely some chandelier overlaps happening. I see a little bit more copper in here, which I think is an interesting thing. I wonder if that's because my mood board had pictures in it. Not sure, but I love it. I think that's so great. How cool is that? Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. Look at this. Oh, I love this. Okay, I did not feed Midjourney my image originally. Like, we just typed it in, and you guys, like, this is my image. I love this. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. And I haven't even linked my image yet. I can't tell which one I love more. And I bet if I could figure out, I should probably go back to the links for these products originally and be like, pulling keywords they used in there to describe these. But oh my goodness, and I can't believe it got the bench. That's crazy. Like, I was like, that's a 50-50 fail, but wow. Okay, so we're gonna go back, copy the link to that image. We're gonna not change anything about this prompt, but all we're gonna do is at the end, before we get to the particulars, we're gonna just throw that link in. and hit submit and see what it comes up with, because this is crazy cool. I was not expecting that for a first go around, and I can't tell if we're just doing a really great, like, it got white rug in there. Like, that was the very end, and it was like, yep, I got that, no problem. Wow. And the tufting. Now, and here's the thing, like, obviously, some of this, if you look at the details, you're going to be like, that's clearly not real. Like, maybe, like, some of the corners on some of this, you know, that might be a little off, and I'm sure some of the tufting is a little wanky here, but that's okay. It's part of the AI experience, and it's only going to get better. Oh my goodness! You guys! Look at that. Wow. Wow. Okay. So we even have, yeah, look at that. And it even got the chandelier. Yes. Wow. That is so fun. It's interesting that it's trying to combine we've said the greenery wall and the honeycomb tiles, because I was like, that's going to be super tricky. So it's kind of interesting how it's interpreted them. Wow, that's super fun. Okay, so let's see if the image weight, so that's another parameter that we can put in Midjourney, is something called image weight. I don't mess with it a ton because honestly, I just don't. So we're going to put image weight 2 in and see if that changes anything in particular. Essentially what we're doing by putting in --IW2 is we're telling it that this image that we referenced, you should have more priority over the rest of the content. There's a lot of ways you can image weight and blend and prompt things. It's not all interchangeable all the time, and truthfully, I am not an expert in it by any means, but I do understand the basic principles where we're just kind of prioritizing one element over the other. There's a ton of resources out there if you want to dabble with that further, by all means. I'm not sure if I like it as much because I think due to it being obviously a mood board and flattened out, or not flattened, but it, you know, it doesn't have the right depth perception 100%. It's a mood board, right? So I think that kind of is translating over to this. So I'm just going to say image weight is not going to benefit us enough in this instance, and I'm not terribly surprised by that. These look far more realistic. So what I think I'm going to do is rerun that just so we can see more options. And while that is running, I want to pull some things in. Actually, I want to say, so I looked at the names of the tiles, and they were called amber elongated hexagon tiles. Okay, so we're gonna put that in there. I don't know. Let's try that and see how that goes. Okay, I don't know that the elongated tiles really made a huge difference. Oh wait, no, is this the one? Yeah, amber elongated hexagon tile wall accent. I don't know if that made like a huge difference, but whatever, let's leave it. We've got some really good ones in here. And while we're adding on to it, let's try swirling, should we say kind of, well, let's just try swirling copper chandelier. Because right now our chandeliers are, I will say historically chandeliers are not the best thing to render in AI, just because, you know, it's hard to get them right, but like, you know, it's definitely trying to put a chandelier over the top. Let's see. Yeah, it's trying different chandeliers. So let's say a swirling one. I pulled up the original chandelier, and it's all linked below where I found these. But it says it's a geometric chandelier, which nothing about this is geometric to me. And then when I pulled up the details, it does say it's more organic shape, which, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Let's see what it comes up with for us. All right. So swirling copper chandelier. I'm not sure if I'm seeing that, Midjourney. Still really pleased with this. And the only thing I want to change here is of the setting. So right now we have it as cozy dining room, and we, you know, there's nothing wrong with any of these. They're all great. I think honestly some of the earlier ones that might even be my favorite when we didn't change too much of this. Like there's some really great ones in here. Like some of these, yeah, I'm thrilled about. I'll rerun this one. This one's the tile, the more simplified version before our stuff even got added into it, or our link. But I do want to take this and I just want to change the setting just a smidge. So let's say cozy, grand dining room, and see what it comes up with. Because just by adding one word, sometimes that can completely change. Oh no! Failed the process. All right, from the top. And that happens, you know, we're doing things. There we go. Sometimes it happens. You put it in. Sometimes you put it in again, and then you go check the alerts and see that Midjourney is down. It happens. Okay. So this was just our original descriptor with no link. Like, this is no link to our mood board originally, and there is so much about this that is great. I do, just for funsies, want to take out this part here, the honeycomb tile wall accent, just to see, just to play around and see, because I think the honeycomb element is creating all of these, like, these textures in here. Obviously it's trying to create a tile for us. All right, now this is the one with the grand added to it. I don't know if it is more grand. I don't know. Uh-oh. Looks like Midjourney might be having some issues, so that might be where we stop. Let's see if we can go one more time. Let's try this. Cozy, this is one with our link in it. So this is why it's trying, I wonder if this is why it's trying to keep it short, like the ceiling's a little bit more, you know, kind of builder grade because of our image reference. I'm not sure. Cozy dining. Okay, so this, we took out the honeycomb. Wow. Wow, this is something else. These might be some of my favorites yet. Okay, we're going to run this again just because I want to see if it keeps getting better. But let's add the word grand to this one because this particular prompt doesn't have our image reference in it. This is just us describing what was in my original mood board. So, yeah, this is I am so pleased with how these are coming out. And if this is like this is probably the more easy to explain and conceptualize. So I'm curious to see how some of the more complicated ones go. So this is it rerun again. We still have the benches. I love that it has the white and floral like we identified in there, like as the bench. Like we said, the bench part was white and yellow floral bench seat. Like it knows. Now obviously not every time, it's not perfect, but geez, this is getting real good. Okay, and then this one is the grand version of it. It is quite grand. I mean, this is a much more spectacular, showy room. Well, I'm going to enjoy running this a few more times, and I think as far as the designs go, this is pretty incredible considering we went from a mood board in PowerPoint, literally made in PowerPoint, my mood board, and we're creating nearly realistic designs that match it quite well. Yeah, I think we're going to have to just get a Hufflepuff dining room in real life because these are gorgeous. All right, friends. Well, I'm Alessandra. Thanks for hanging out with me in Midjourney today. I will be posting some of my favorite images from this rendition on the blog. I'll put the links down below, of course. So if you have any favorites that you need to save for future reference on Pinterest or wherever, I got you. They will be there. And I think we're going to have to do more of our old mood boards, run them through AI again, and see what happens because this is just incredible. All right, friends. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time.